Hello and welcome back to Librarian of the Rings. My name is Ben, I'm the librarian, and today I want to talk with you about 5 things that I think the Magic the Gathering The Hobbit set totally did right. Now, not everything was perfect in this set, so I will have a video where I also talk about things that I think didn't go so well, but today we're focused on the positive, the things that really went great and have made this set super fun to play in the first week that it's been out. So remember, when I come at this, I'm coming at this as a Tolkien fan first and a Magic the Gathering player second. I started playing Magic the Gathering when the Lord of the Rings set came out, and I thought it was so well done that I've continued playing Magic the Gathering. They did such a good job taking Tolkien's world in the Lord of the Rings and crafting it into the game of Magic that it hooked me. And I have played multiple Magic sets since. I don't play every Magic set. I play about every other set. I play Commander weekly with a group of friends. So I'm in Magic, but I'm coming at this as a Tolkien fan first. And the most important things for me were that they got the flavor of The Hobbit correct. So the first thing I think they did right in designing the Hobbit set was making the 5 draft archetypes based on the 5 armies from the Battle of 5 Armies. So cards like Thranduil's Company, which is based around the Elf army from the Battle of 5 Armies, really help out here because you get that sense and that flavor that there are 5 armies. And coming off of pre-release this past week, I was able to participate in 2 pre-release events, and those armies came up again and again. So you really felt like you were there, part of the story, which I think is really important. And they got the 5 armies right, which is not something that always happens. So you had dwarves, humans, elves, wolves, and goblins. So building those archetypes there to make sure that you would see those in play regularly, making it feel like it was full of the flavor of The Hobbit. Okay, the second thing I think they did really well in bringing The Hobbit to Magic the Gathering was the use of adventure. So cards like Bilbo Luckwearer have an adventure on them, which is like an extra spell that you can cast, and then that creature or that artifact goes on an adventure. They are in exile, they are doing something. And I think this makes so much sense, and I talked about this right at the beginning when we first heard The Hobbit was announced, that using adventure would be really important because the theme of adventure is so prevalent in The Hobbit. So to continually have it recur throughout your games playing The Hobbit, where you say this is going on an adventure, that just really helps out. And the token card for going on an adventure was a nice reference to a really great moment from the Hobbit films. And there's a lot about the Hobbit films that weren't great, but that moment when Bilbo runs out his door was really well done, and it's a nice little homage to that. I also like that it's not just creatures that can go on an adventure, because even the card My Precious, which it represents the ring in this set, can go on an adventure, and it certainly does. So I thought that that was a good way to bring in that flavor, and something that I expected from the beginning and actually ended up materializing, which was not the case with everything that I predicted. The third thing that I think they did really well in this Hobbit the Magic the Gathering set was the artwork. Now, this is not a surprise, but even here in the full art lands, it's just amazing artwork, and even the regular lands have amazing artwork in it. So every card you're playing has some really good artwork that really speaks to Tolkien's world. I love these full art lands though. They are just amazing. I have an island and a mountain here, and they represent important moments in the book. So even playing your land, which is probably the most rudimentary, basic thing you can do in Magic, even that is full of this amazing flavor. Not to mention we got some amazing artwork of the characters and the artifacts, the equipment, and the moments of The Hobbit. Really appreciate that they went all out in the artwork. This is not a surprise because the Lord of the Rings artwork was of course amazing, although somewhat controversial at times. Okay, the fourth thing that I think they did really well in this Hobbit the Magic the Gathering set was a focus on artifacts. So here I have the key to the side door. There are so many items in The Hobbit that play really critical roles in the story. So to have artifacts brought in to the game was going to be really important. And again, that's something that I predicted at the beginning. Artifacts, and especially equipment, become very important to Bilbo throughout his quest, and so you get to see almost all of that. A little disappointed that there wasn't a mithril coat this time. We just got a reprint of the Lord of the Rings one, which almost nobody got because it's a box topper. It doesn't play in limited, so you don't really see it. That was one piece that was really missing, but overall, they did a great job. So like the key to the side door, obviously a critical part of the story because that is how Bilbo is able to get in to Smaug to begin with. That key appears at the beginning of the story and then has a real payoff towards the end of the story. And of course you have the swords and of course the ring itself. So just this focus on the importance of the artifacts from the story, making sure that those came up a lot in the games really helped to make it feel like The Hobbit, and I really appreciate that. All right, the fifth and last thing that I think they did really well in this Hobbit set is the inclusion of fun animals. And I know this annoyed some people, but I think this was a really great place for The Hobbit and Magic to meet together. The Hobbit is a fun children's story. It is not The Lord of the Rings, which is this much more serious tone. So to bring in things like the Great Fierce Bee, Nasty Little Rabbit, and the long-bodied gray dog, and many others in there as well, those animals are really important and lend this fantastical flavor to the Hobbit that you just don't have in the Lord of the Rings. So in order to separate this set and make it its own, I think that was really important. And of course, Magic has embraced cute animals before, especially in the Bloomborough set, which was one of my all-time favorite sets outside of Tolkien sets. And so to see them be able to bring in some more of that really made it feel like The Hobbit and not exactly like The Lord of the Rings Part 2. Some people didn't like it. They think it's too childish, but that's the nature of The Hobbit, is that it is very childish. So leaning into that, I was really happy to see them bring that into this set. And those are 5 things that I think they just did a really great job on in this Magic the Gathering set. Now, I will do a video where I talk about some things where I think they missed, but overall, this set was amazing. It's been so fun to play. Still looking forward to building out some commander decks around some of these characters and having a great time. So drop down in the comments and let me know what you think they did right in this Hobbit the Magic the Gathering set. Until next time, farewell wherever you fare. May your ears receive you at your journey's end.